Walk into any grocery aisle and you're met with a quiet revolution. Cartons and bottles lined up like a soft color spectrum. Almond, soy, oat, coconut, pea, hemp. Each one promises something slightly different, a flavor, a texture, a use. You don't have to be vegan to care about these options. You just want a milk that does the job, in your coffee, in your cereal, in your soup, and fits what you like. This is a calm, clear tour of the most common vegan milks. What they're made from, how they behave, where they shine. Think of it as a tasting map for everyday life. No hard science, no intense comparisons, just practical notes you can use the next time you reach for a carton. One of the oldest mainstream alternatives, soy milk is made from soaked soybeans and water. The process is simple. Soften the beans, blend with water, strain, and sometimes fortify or stabilize. What you get is a neutral, creamy liquid that sits comfortably between light and rich. It doesn't scream, nut, or grain. Instead, it offers a consistent mouthfeel that behaves like dairy milk in many recipes. In cooking and baking, soy milk is a reliable stand-in. It emulsifies well in sauces, holds up under heat, and browns predictably in batters. For coffee, it can be a good choice if you want a familiar creaminess without overpowering flavor. In cereal, it provides enough body to feel satisfying. If you care about protein, soy typically has more than most plant milks, so it's often chosen for that reason as well. Its classic status makes it a safe, versatile pick for many households. Almond milk comes from ground almonds and water. The result is a light, slightly nutty beverage with a thinner consistency than many others. Because almonds aren't naturally as creamy on their own, commercial versions often add tiny amounts of oil, stabilizers, or thickeners to achieve a smoother texture and better shelf life. Its gentle nutty flavor is a big part of almond milk's appeal. You'll find it in smoothies where it adds a subtle backdrop without dominating the other ingredients. It's pleasant with cereal and works well in light drinks, iced tea, matcha, or a cold brew. For those new to plant-based milks, almond is often the welcoming first step because it feels familiar and not too heavy. One practical note. Homemade almond milk tends to be slightly grittier unless strained thoroughly. Oat milk shot up in popularity quickly, and with good reason. Made from oats and water, it's naturally creamy with a soft, slightly sweet profile. Oats contain soluble fibers that create a silky viscosity when blended and strained, which contributes to that smooth mouthfeel cafes love. This milk is a standout for coffee. Its foam and texture mimic dairy in lattes and cappuccinos, so baristas favor it for that balanced, velvety result. In baking, oat milk adds tenderness and a mild sweetness that complements baked goods without altering flavor drastically. It's also allergy-friendly for many people who avoid nuts and soy. If you like a comforting, slightly oatmeal-like note in your beverages, oat milk will likely feel like a quiet upgrade. Carton coconut milk is not the same as the thick canned version used in curries. Drinkable coconut milk is lighter, made from coconut extract and water, designed for sipping rather than simmering in a pot. It offers a mild tropical flavor and a clean, refreshing finish. Because of its distinctive coconut hint, it's often chosen for smoothies and breakfast drinks where a bright, tropical tone is welcome. It can also be a playful complement to fruit-forward cereals. In coffee, coconut milk imparts a unique character, though its flavor can overshadow more subtle notes in specialty beans. Rice milk is the simplest in structure, milled rice and water. Its texture is very light and its taste mildly sweet, because rice releases sugars during processing. That sweetness makes rice milk a gentle, unobtrusive companion for many uses. It's a popular option for those with multiple allergies because the ingredient list is short and straightforward. In cereal, rice milk keeps things delicate, letting the cereal's flavor speak first. It's also suitable for people who prefer extremely light textures in beverages. On the downside, rice milk is often lower in protein and can be quite thin, so it may not satisfy the same way richer milks do. Cashew milk is made from cashews and water, and it brings a naturally rich and smooth texture. Cashews are creamy even before processing, so cashew milk often requires less added thickener to achieve a lush mouthfeel. The flavor is neutral to slightly nutty, and it blends into recipes with an almost buttery quality. This milk shines in creamy sauces and soups where a velvety finish is desired. It can be stirred into coffee for a decadent sip, or used in desserts where its subtle sweetness and richness enhance texture without adding overt nuttiness. If you want plant milk that behaves like a light cream, cashew is one of the better options. Pea milk comes from yellow split peas and water, and it's one of the newer players on supermarket shelves. It's engineered to have a neutral flavor and a smooth, protein-forward consistency that mimics dairy's structure in certain applications. Because it's made from peas, the protein content is higher than many other plant milks. Pea milk performs well in cooking. It binds and emulsifies in ways that make it useful in sauces and baked goods. In coffee and cereal, it provides body and satiety, feeling more substantial than many grain-based milks. If you're seeking a plant milk with muscle, so to speak, pea milk can be a practical choice, especially where protein matters. Hemp milk is crafted from hemp seeds and water, offering a slightly earthy taste and a thinner consistency. Hemp seeds carry a unique flavor profile, nutty but with green, almost vegetal notes, and that character comes through in the milk. You'll see hemp milk used in smoothies and blended drinks where its subtle earthiness can play well with greens, fruits, and spices. Health-focused stores and sections carry it more often, and people who enjoy a more pronounced seed flavor appreciate its nuance. It's not the first pick for coffee, but in the right combination it adds an interesting layer of taste and texture. There isn't one best vegan milk. What matters most are your preferences and how you plan to use it. Think about 3 simple questions. How do you want it to taste? What texture do you prefer? How do you plan to use it? For coffee and barista-style drinks, oat and soy are typically the top picks, with oat offering creaminess and soy providing neutral performance. For smoothies, almond, coconut, and hemp can add complementary flavors depending on the fruit and other ingredients. For cooking and sauces, cashew and soy are excellent due to their richness and stability under heat. For cereal and light drinking, rice and almond give a refreshingly light mouthfeel. For higher protein, soy and pea milks are the better choices. Many people keep more than one carton at home. A good strategy is to match milk to activity. One for morning coffee, one for baking, one for smoothies. That way you get the best of texture and taste across different uses. Fortification varies. Commercial plant milks are often fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and B12, but amounts differ by brand. If you rely on milk as a nutrient source, check labels. Sweetened versus unsweetened. Many plant milks come in both versions. Unsweetened is usually the best choice when you want to control sugar, especially in coffee or cooking. Homemade options. Making plant milk at home is easy for almonds, oats, and cashews. Fresh homemade milk can taste brighter but will usually separate faster and need shaking. Environmental and dietary considerations. Some people choose milks based on sustainability or allergies. Almonds use water in cultivation. Oats and peas are often considered lower impact. Soy has a complex reputation but is a staple crop in many forms. Vegan milks are no longer niche. They are everyday choices that fit into ordinary routines. Breakfast bowls, lunchtime soups, afternoon lattes, and midnight smoothies. Each variety brings a palette of flavor and texture that can change the way a drink or dish feels. When you pick a milk next time, think practically rather than politically. Consider what you're making, how you like your mouthfeel, and whether you want extra protein or a neutral backdrop. Taste a few side by side if you can. You'll notice how small differences, a touch of sweetness, a hint of nuttiness, a silkier texture, shift everything. By understanding these basic differences, you'll find a handful of go-to milks that fit your life. Keep an open carton for coffee, a thicker one for sauces, and perhaps a lighter one for smoothies. With a few simple choices, you'll be ready for almost any recipe that calls for milk.